So the video that y'all is about to watch is some of the struggles I had a year ago with being a wife of an inmate. And a lot of those struggles that I'm about to talk about in this next video, I'm still going through. It ain't changed. It's like a consistent work to be a wife of an inmate. You're gonna stay. There's a lot of stuff that come with that. A lot of feelings, emotions, whatever. But we gotta learn to go to God with all those feelings, emotions, so God can correct us and help us and give us the strength we need to get through it. Because God, if you marry, God wants you to stay. Believe it or not, God wants you to stay if you marry. And be still a woman of God in it, whatever. Because people are watching you too. But not even for people, for yourself. Like, you need sanity. You need God. We need God to get through this. So here it go. Okay, so hey, haven't been on here in a while, but I kind of had something I wanted to talk about that's been kind of eating at me forever. So my husband is in prison, and so when you used to being with somebody, this is for whether you used to be in a relationship or if you marry, your husband gone for a while or whatever, even if you're just gone for 2 weeks. Sometimes I'm gonna speak for women because I don't know the men's side, I don't know how they do, and this can probably apply to men, but I don't know, so I'm not gonna speak on that. But women, we tend to, well, I'll say majority of women, we tend to be more clingy, you know, not clingy, but more like pressure to feel lonely. And I'm not saying men don't feel lonely, I'm saying as women, well, I'm gonna speak for myself, I'm not gonna speak for nobody else, but with my husband being gone, you know, used to being with him and around him, whatever, and even though he's been gone for like a year and a half, really 2 years, really February, no, June will make really 2 years, because he was going on and off for a while. When we did finally see him again, it was only for 2 weeks, and then he went to jail. So I kind of get caught up a lot in the, oh, he's not here, oh, it's so hard, oh, woe is me, I gotta do all this extra that he should be here doing, and now I gotta be tired, and I gotta get up early, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do that, and I gotta work on this, and I gotta get the kids in order, and they ain't listening to me, so, oh, what if their daddy was here, I know they would listen to him, whatever. So I get caught up in that, and then, you know, nights were like, oh, I'm so bored, like I wish he was here so we can talk, so we can cuddle, whatever. And I get caught up in that. I'm so lonely, I can't stand him, like he made me have to suffer through this for what? It's all his fault, whatever. We got married for a reason so we can stick this out together, and now he over here, I'm over here. I mean, we get phone calls, but the phone calls sometimes can make it worse. Like, it makes it better because, like, when you really miss them, you get to talk and see kind of how they doing, whatever. You get to hear them. You can hear the smile in their voice. You can hear the laughter, the sadness. You talk to them, you discuss it, whatever. Which is kind of sad that you have to pay for communication, but I understand. He's basically on punishment, which is understandable. So, you know, besides that, you know, talking to him is, you know, it's cool sometimes. But sometimes it can make it a little worse. Like, we can get up the phone and I'll just be hanging on the thread. Like, oh, I miss him. I wish he was here. I wish I can kiss him. Then, you know, I wish I could have sex with him. Like, you know, I miss my husband. Like, it's my husband. Let's just be real. And, like, okay, so I'm sorry. I had to stop for a minute because I thought somebody was coming, and I don't like to talk when there's a whole bunch of people listening or whatever. So, anyway, I left off on, yeah, sometimes I miss, like, I be thinking, like, I wish I could have sex with my husband, because sometimes, you know, sex is a release. So if you don't have that release, it's like, and then it's a release with somebody, so you feel the companionship and you feel that release. Well, for me, it's a release. I don't know about y'all. So anyway, I miss everything about my husband. Sometimes I hate everything about him. But you can get so mixed up in so many different emotions, missing him, that you don't realize that you still have a life, or you're supposed to be learning, you're supposed to be growing. So I'm not saying I'm not learning and growing from this experience, but I am saying that it's hard. Like, this ain't easy. If you're going to stick by your husband's side or your man's side, fiance side, whatever, while he's in prison, it's going to be hard. Like, no matter what, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Mentally hard, sometimes physically hard, because you're doing everything that he would normally do. You doing it by yourself. With the strength of God that God is giving you. One person can only do so much, but you're going to try and do all you can, trust me. Like, it's mentally, physically, and emotionally. The biggest is emotionally draining. Like, okay, when you have your husband, fiance, whatever, Y'all can talk at any time, you know, when you're having a hard time. Y'all can talk it out. You have somebody to run to and talk to. You know, sometimes just voicing, you know, your concerns and stuff, it makes you feel better. You don't even have to, nothing has to be resolved, but just the fact that you can say it. And it's hard because sometimes you can share stuff with your husband that you can't share with everybody else. And it's for those moments that I miss him the most. Like, stuff when I want to share or something good happened. And I'm like, yay, this happened. I got to email him and wait a few hours for his response. Or we talk on the phone and, oh, shoot, this the good thing happened. And now that we on the phone, I done forgot to say what I had to say. But the phone just we only got a minute left. Ain't no point in starting the conversation. So I'll just email him later, wait for another phone call and another day. So one of the hardest things that's really emotional, makes me emotionally drained about it, is that I don't get to run to nobody when I have to talk or whatever. Now in this whole situation of me being lonely and me craving, you know, companionship and me craving just somebody to talk to, I need to be taking this to God. Like, and that's what I'm realizing. Like, all this bit, like, I know everybody out there, men, women, whoever, this is legit pain. Like, having your loved one so far away from you, you can barely talk to them. You can go visit him, but my husband's 8.5, 9 hours away. I can't go visit him like that. And then when we do talk, at the place he's in, they can only do 300 minutes a month. So we kind of like stretch them out when we can. We call each other when we really miss each other. We kind of got like a plan of when we're going to talk. So I try to stick with those plans, but sometimes we just want to talk. Like this month we didn't stick with the plan. He obviously wanted to talk to me more than normal, so he called and I answered. So, but anyway, all of this is legit feeling. Loneliness is legit because you ain't got nobody. It's just really you. Especially if you got kids, like you do everything by yourself and it's you. Even if you don't, it's you. Your love, you know, your loved one is behind bars and you can't really talk to them like that. Especially if they don't live in your city. 2, the second thing that's legit, the emotional stress. Yes, you're going to feel some pressure. You're going to feel some stress. You're going to be tired. You're going to be like mentally drained. Like your emotions going to be on 10, probably 80% of the time. So that's legit. Those are legit feelings. 3rd, you know, did I say loneliness? I think I did. Anger is going to be legit. They did this. It's their fault. Yes, it is their fault that you have to do this by yourself. Yes, that's legit. So anger, loneliness, and emotional pain is all legit. And there's some I'm not even mentioning right now. Like, they're all legit feelings. But we have to remember as people that sometimes where there's no struggle, there's no strength. And basically what I'm saying by that is if you never go through anything, I'm not saying y'all ain't never been through nothing, but I'm saying if you never go through nothing, how can you truly experience the goodness that's out there? So let's say, for instance, my husband, before he went to prison, we were kind of really on rocky terms. A lot of weird, bad stuff was happening. So we kind of just like broke apart for a minute, and then we came back together for the 2 weeks like I told y'all, and then he went to prison. So it was really rocky before he went in. So once he went in, you know, I was really mad and upset, and every time I was talking to him I would cuss him out, be mad, whatever. He'd be like, please stay, whatever. But the first few months I kind of felt like it was fake. So I ain't really leaned toward his way and forgiving him and nothing like that, or God's way rather. I didn't forgive or nothing. I was angry, and it's been almost a year in when I start forgiving. And I'm so honest. I'm just being real. I started forgiving him after a year. Because it's still some stuff that kind of pop up, and I'd be like, gotta knock that down, gotta forgive, I got to forgive. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that pain, that loneliness you feeling, take it to God. I know God ain't gonna fulfill every single desire that you think. He actually is, just not the sexual. Come on now, he ain't your man. He ain't your boo thing. So he's that loneliness, take it to God. Let God know that you feeling lonely. Like the best thing to do, like I said, is to voice your concerns, tell it to God, which is going to be one of the hardest things that you've ever done in your life. Voice your concerns, your loneliness, everything to God. Like, just tell him. He already knows. Like, Lord, for example, Lord, I feel really lonely. Okay, so I hope y'all saw that the struggle is real in that video. And that was just, yeah, like I said, a year ago. And at that time, he had only done a year in prison. Now he's up to 2 years now. And the struggle still remains. And the reason the video cut off so suddenly is because I thought somebody was coming. And I don't like to talk about my business in front of while people coming up the stairs, because I feel like, I ain't even gonna talk about that, but I don't like to talk about stuff just out in the open like that. But I got better, so I don't care about it no more. So if somebody hear me talking, I don't cut stuff off, I just keep going. We all growing. We all growing. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you are a wife of an inmate or you thinking about staying with an inmate, it's a work. It's a work. It's definitely a work. But nothing, I was gonna say nothing having is worth fighting for. I mean, everything having is worth fighting for. If you feel like this man is genuine, no, I can't even say that, because before I realized he was even genuine, like I told y'all, I think in another video, it took me a year to start forgiving him. And I felt like basically everything he said in the first year was fake, like prison talk. So you gotta really go to God. You gotta really go to God to help you through in the moments where you feel like he lying. And I'm talking about wives for that. Now, if you just this man's girlfriend or something, I got a different say-so about that. But then that's why I say go to God, because I don't know everything. You could go to God and he'd be like, nah, you need to stay. This is about to be your husband. I don't know. So, but if it's one of your loved ones in your family, always call them, put a little bit of money on their books, like support them, like not support their crime that they did wrong. And some people I even understand, like if they go to God and God tell them do not help that person, do not help that person. It's all about your relationship with God and going to God about everything. So yeah, it's a struggle. It's real. I hope y'all enjoyed that video. I'll have more videos about being a wife of an inmate, because I feel like I'm slacking on that, and I feel like people need encouragement. So see y'all later. I'll upload later. Bye bye.